Hello, my name is Frederick Rodriguez, and this is my final research proposal. This research study will be designed to assess the extent of women's victimization within the workplace. Researchers have conducted studies on the effects of workplace violence against women who often choose to remain silent out of fear of the repercussions from their abusers. Research question: to what extent has women's victimization within the workplace affected their lives due to sexual violence? Hypothesis: women's victimization within the workplace affected their lives due to sexual violence. In our country's history, there have always existed issues involving inequality and the continuous mission by American activists lobbying for civil rights. The impact of each new laws that is enacted as a means to protect women in the workplace doesn't seem to prevent this type of behavior from occurring. Based on the research that was gathered for this study, one may draw multiple conclusions as to why women in the workplace continue to encounter unwelcome conduct. What type of behavior are we encouraging or deeming acceptable within the workplace? The research question is in line with existing research. There would not be any issues in executing this research plan. There have been many studies in the past focusing on women's victimization in the workplace. However, it can be challenging to find participants willing to disclose their abuse history and any other type of workplace violence. The shackles of non disclosure agreements, better known as NDA, that are heavily publicized in the media, often silencing these horrific acts to save face. A legal weapon used to silence and intimidate, but also serving as a scare tactic against the devastated victim of the assault and or harassment from speaking out against the perpetrator due to NDA agreements set forth by the company can be another potential factor. The intended audience are the employers, which can benefit from utilizing very detailed data from this study. It is no longer possible for businesses to ignore this issue or hide behind non disclosure agreements. The recent emergence of the Me Too movement has brought forth a concern to the public's attention involving confidential settlement agreements and how this affects the likelihood of victims speaking out. Heidi Kurt claims over 1/3 of workers are bonded by NDAs, demanding their silence. The most simplistic approach is offering the victim some monetary compensation as a means to rectify the situation. Furthermore, 87% to 94% of victims never come forward to report an incident or their abuser. The data collected for this study will be through an online platform called SurveyMonkey. Due to the sensibility of this topic, participants' names are not disclosed to the audience. The purpose is to evaluate the likeliness of workplace violence by the frequency and compare rates by the type of violence on young workers who continue to experience victimization as adults to directly focus on the research question of to what extent has women's victimization within the workplace affected their life due to sexual violence. I decided to create a similar survey instrument based on the rape survey screening questions developed by Patricia and Nancy Tohines, based on previous studies conducted by other researchers, which continues to show that women still endure harassment inside the workforce within our society. I feel very proud of what I have accomplished in general. Doing the literature review has helped me improve as a student, but also learning a great deal about the struggle women face dealing with victimization within the workforce. I can honestly say that I am proud of all the hard work that I put into this presentation and my research paper.